Konnichiwa, minasan. I'm here today with another martial arts video. So I thought today that I would give a little bit of a background on what it is I'm doing, what the martial arts tradition that I do is, and just, run through some of the things that make it interesting and that have caused me to continue practicing it. So the tradition that I'm a part of is called Nami Ryu. It's a descendant of two older traditions. One of them is called Yanagi Ryu, and the other is called Shinbukan. Yanagi Ryu was a family Budo. It was created, or it was discovered in. It's old. It goes back before we have record of it. It was brought to the United States by Kenji, Yoshida Kenji is his name. He's the son of Yoshida Kotaro, who was a very, very famous martial artist from the first half of the 20th century. And Yoshida Kenji taught it to a man named Danan-Jay, and Danan-Jay has continued that tradition. He died in 2014, but that Yanagi Ryu is still around as an independent school. Separate from that, James Williams Sensei, who's the leader of Nami Ryu, he wanted to teach, but Danan-Jay didn't want to let him teach Yanagi Ryu. So he helped him create a new discipline, Nami Ryu, using Yanagi Ryu and also the other discipline that is composed of Shinbukan. Shinbukan is the family tradition practiced by Tetsuan Kuroda Sensei, who is probably the foremost swordsman in the world right now. And Shinbukan, you'd have to go to Japan to learn it. So Nami Ryu is the composite of those two disciplines. It's sort of based off of Koryu, which is an older pre-Meiji Restoration martial art, although it is in itself not a Koryu. It also has some modern stuff tossed in as well. But for instance, you can tell that it's kind of an older style because of the size of the swords we use. So after the Meiji Restoration, the Japanese government said that you couldn't have a sword longer than 40 inches. So this sword would actually be too long to be considered legal under Meiji Restoration law. And a lot of samurai at the time would have cut their swords down in order to conform to the legal regulations. But this is because it's based on the older style. We also use the older swords. So, this is my sword. It is not an old sword. It is I had it made last year. It's from Longquin, China. It's not tamahagane. It has no haman. But, it's a good sword. It works well for me. It's a good introductory tool, despite it, being basically a modern tool. It is not a traditional sword in the normal sense. So that's a little bit about the sword, about the discipline, and so let's just get right into things. Hajimemashou. First, I'm going to tie back the sleeves on my kimono. This is called a tasuki. This method of tying back the sleeves was originally only used by Shinto priests, but these days lots of people do it. It's just a common way to keep your sleeves out of whatever it is you're doing. So I'm going to go through some of the things I do, why we do them, and I hope you enjoy. And the camera around so you can see my feet. I'll back up and see what I'm doing. So to start, we would bow into our instructor. So we do that like this. We cross our sword over so it's on our right side. And we take it and move it back to the left. And we present the sword, we tip down first and then the tilt. And we bow. And when we bow, we don't actually put any weight on our hands so that we can still spring up in action. We say, "Onegaishimasu," which means please. And it's a way of showing deference and respect to your instructor. Basically saying, "Please teach me." So that's that. We'll start with some draws. So this would be how to draw the sword into a, well, first of all, here's the formal draw. This is, I just am drawing the sword, not any sort of like combat anything. So that looks like this. And I draw the sword to come into kamae. And this is called noto. This is how we put the sword away. One important thing here is that we put the saya over the sword. We don't put the sword into the saya, because if you do that, you could stab the sword straight through it and impale your hand or hurt yourself very badly. So that's that. So now I'm going to do Iaijutsu 1, which is a set of moves, how you would draw into a fight. So I start with my feet shoulder width apart, my toes pointed out to the sides. As I bring my hand, I'm also bringing my foot onto the center line. I'm breaking the seal with my thumb. This is the Koguchi seal, so I'll pop it open like that. And then all together, this is the move. We'll do that one more time. And we'll also do that from the side. This is the same move from the side. Cut. Cut. Noto again. One more time. Cut. So now we'll do Iaijutsu 2, which is very similar to 1, just modifies the draw slightly. There's Iaijutsu 2, and we'll do that again. I'm not completely satisfied with how I'm doing any of these, it's just kind of demonstration. And also to show my sensei how it's going, so he can give me corrections. So here's Iaijutsu 2 one more time. And we're going to do it from the side as well. I'm going to do that one more time because I'm not completely satisfied with how I'm rotating my arm through it. Do it slowly this time. That's a bit better. You can also do both of these moves with a turn, so you can. So I make the first cut striking someone in front of me, and then I turn around. So here's with that with the Iaijutsu 1, I'll do that from the front and the side as well. So that's one, so one more time. I'll do it from the side. And we'll do that from the side as well. And we'll also do Iaijutsu 2, because we can do Iaijutsu 2 that way as well. Just like that. Now I'll do Iaijutsu 2, the turn as well. One more time from the front. And then we'll also do that from the side. Right. Now we're going to do EI-JITSU 4. There's another draw. All of these draws start basically the same way. They basically all start like that. And that means that we can go into a number of draws from the same basic position. So that it's right up until the sword leaves the side. You're not sure whether to do this or this. And that keeps it ambiguous, which is useful to you and bad for your opponent. Right, so this is the EI-JITSU 4. And then also do this from the front side. So in this one I drop down. This is the first half of it, and then the second half is come forward, cut. So we'll do that all together. Here's all of the EI-JITSU 4 together. We'll do that one more time, and then I'll also do it from the side. So now from the side. One more time. Actually, do that 2 more times, just so I get a good feel for it. This one I'm still practicing. So. One more move we can do, which is where we use, this doesn't have a name, but it's where I would attack someone to my side, coming out of the formal draw. So someone comes to attack me, and I open, and this is blocking. We'll do that one more time. Do it from this way, and then I'll do it from that way. It's going to help. So, open sword, and cutting. That. So now we're going to do Kenjutsu. We'll do the Kenjutsu katas 1, 2, and 3. So these are very basic. These are actually the first moves that I learned with the sword. So the first, this is Kenjutsu kata 1, or Seburi 1. So this, I lower my Kisaki down. This is inviting someone to attack me. And then when they do, I raise the sword up to block and cut. That should get way more than it is. Do that again. So, lower the sword down. And cut. That's more. And that's Kenjutsu 1. And just do it from the side. And then we'll also do Kenjutsu 2. It's very similar. Again, I'm lowering my sword down. This is actually, the first time I did this, I actually messed up and combined them a little bit. So this is the second. I bring my feet together and bring my sword up. This is again, deflect, parry, and I cut. I'll do that again. From the side. I actually got to this side too, so you can actually see a little bit. Because the way my feet go, it's not super clear. So. So now we're going to do sword turns. So that is, if I'm being attacked from behind, I need to turn around really fast with the sword. That's, I bring my hands together, keeping my arms straight, keeping my sword directly in front of me. Side. Just like that. Just do that one more time. And I'm keeping most of my weight on my front foot, and I'm rotating such that when the sword is over my head, my foot is finished rotating. And my weight is still mostly on this foot, and I drop back. So now we'll do Roku no Giri, which is a series of 6 cuts to kind of demonstrate cutting techniques. Back up a little bit. That looks something like this. Let's do that one more time. So, from here, and put it, place my forward. I'm not putting any weight on it. Cutting. Back. And place my foot forward. Again, not putting any weight on it. Cutting. Back. Place. Cut. Place. Cut. Place. Cut. Place. Cut. So that's where we're doing. And that's all the basic things that I am particularly good at. I'll also show you Kenjutsu 3, which I am not very good at, but I theoretically know how to do it. This is what I'm still learning. I'm hoping I can get some corrections and feedback from my sensei on this one. So on this, I am still also lowering myself down like I'm inviting an attack. Except this time I snap the sword around like that. And that's very rough. That's not exactly how it's supposed to look. Side. Something like that. So that's all of that. Thank you so much for watching. And then to end the lesson, we do the same thing we did when we started. Get the sword out of our Hakama and Obi, cross our arms over. Kneel. Pass the sword back over. And then we set the sword down in front of us. Again, tip first, and then hilt. Then we bow, and we say, Domo arigatou gozaimashita, which means thank you, essentially, in a very formal way. And that's that. So thank you so much for watching. I hope that was informative and useful, and I will see you all next week.